Today, hedge funds learned their lesson from January's meme stock mania. Now they're making big-time profits. Plus, police in Brazil seize millions in what they're calling a crypto pyramid scheme. And finally, explosions near Kabul's international airport result in multiple casualties. I'm MacKenzie Sigalos, and this is CNBC After Hours. Stocks drifted lower as Wall Street keeps its eye on the Federal Reserve. Officials are currently holding a virtual meeting where they're planning an end to the stimulus that boosted the economy during the pandemic. Of course, investors were also watching the deteriorating situation in Afghanistan as suicide bombers attacked the perimeter of Kabul's international airport. Now, those attacks killed several U.S. service members, and we'll tell you more about that later in the show. Some retail trading favorites like AMC and Clover Health also ended lower, and that could be good news for hedge funds. Many funds today took a beating during the meme stock frenzy earlier this year. But in July, their short bets posted their biggest profit in nearly 10 years. Markets reporter Yoon Lee can tell us how they turned things around.
Hedge funds had a very brutal start to the year because of the meme stock mania. A lot of them got burned, a lot of them suffered huge losses betting against GameStop and AMC. And right now we're seeing this rebound in hedge funds' short side of their portfolio. Their short book actually just posted its best month in more than 10 years. That's because a lot of them are trying to adapt to this new era of meme trading and trying to revamp and rethink their strategy. There are two specific things that hedge funds are trying to do to adapt to this era of retail traders and meme stock trading. Firstly, we're seeing way less concentrated short interest in individual names. For example, GameStop, back in January, there was more than 100% of available shares so short. Now, the number has come down drastically to about 10%. That's still relatively high, but it's nowhere near the level at the height of the frenzy. The second thing they're trying to do is that hedge funds are paying closer attention to retail trading activity. In fact, many of them are using alternative data that tracks ticker mentions and sentiment on social media platforms like Wall Street Bets. They want to be able to spot any coordinated trading and get ahead of it. The retail side is also getting smarter and savvier too. We're seeing retail investors move really fast from one target to another. It's getting harder for hedge funds and other players to try to predict and keep track of what they're targeting.
Okay, let's fill you in on some numbers that you need to know. First up, 28.8 million. Brazilian police seized $28.8 million worth of crypto assets during a raid on Wednesday, according to CNN. Officials said that the funds were allegedly tied to a, quote, financial pyramid scheme that promised investors as much as 15% returns on their investments. It's the second raid of its kind in about a month. Back in July, Brazilian police seized $33 million in crypto assets. Next, 8. Blue Origin successfully completed another rocket launch this morning, although this time no one was on board. It does mark the 8th successful launch of Blue Origin's reusable New Shepard booster rocket, though. The suborbital flight included a demonstration of NASA's lunar lander tech as well as other research equipment. And one last thing, we want to give you an update about what's happening in Afghanistan. 2 suicide bombers detonated explosives near Kabul's airport, killing 12 U.S. service members and injuring 15 others. A number of Afghan citizens were also killed. The attack comes just one day after the U.S. Embassy in Kabul warned Americans to avoid the airport. They reiterated that warning again today following the attack. Military officials also said the, quote, extremely active threat of terrorism is ongoing. Some 100,000 people have been evacuated from Afghanistan since the Taliban's takeover, and one U.S. general confirmed evacuations will continue in the coming days. Biden addressed the nation following the attacks, and you can read his comments by going to CNBC.com and downloading the CNBC app. That's it for After Hours. We'll be back here every Tuesday and Thursday, so be sure to catch us then.